So this is a tune-up video for a Craftsman 6.75 liter gas lawnmower, and I'm just doing this because I happen to be doing it at this time. I don't have any particular expertise, and sorry for the lighting, and I'll try to make the angles better. So I've already emptied out the old oil for the lawnmower, and I'll show you the oil cap is right here. And what I did is I tipped it on its side and dumped it out. So this is the oil cap. It comes right off, and I'm going to take it off again. I put it back on so I wouldn't lose the cap, but there's the dipstick and everything. I dumped it out by tipping it on its side, and I also took the spark plug out right here. I have a special spark plug wrench that I used for that. I will show you that. I put a plastic piece over the gas because it is not well sealed on this particular one, and I don't want it to dump out when I tip it over. I also am going to replace the air filter, which I took off, and that actually comes off just like this, and there was an air filter in there, and I will replace that. So this particular lawnmower takes premium 4-cycle small engine oil, about 1.5 liters. That's about what I have left in this one. I've done 2 oil changes in this, and it started out with 1.3 liters. So I have a correction to make. It's not 1.5 liters. That would be way overfilled. It's actually 15 to 20 ounces, however that translates to liters, but I'm right at 15 ounces, so I'm good to go. So I do have a small 1.5 pint funnel that I'm going to use to put the oil in. And I've opened up my bottle, and I'm just going to dump it in. And in this particular situation, I only have 15 ounces left in the bottle, so I'm just going to empty it out. And if it's overfilled, too bad. So now that I've dumped the oil in, I'm going to put the dipstick in here, screw it in, and check my oil. You can't really see it, so you can sort of see the line there. It's right at the border of needing to add, but I'm gonna go with it because it's right at the border of okay as well. Forgot to mention, I did decide to have the lawnmower blade sharpened, which means I took it to a person that has a sharpener. I did sharpen the blade. I try to do that every year if I have time, but I'm gonna have to turn this thing over to put the blade on. Now that I've put the new oil in, I have a container to put the old oil. This can be any plastic container, but the old oil bottle will be perfect. So I will unscrew the cap there on my oil pan and dump it in the bottle. So I'm holding a camera in one and dumping oil in another. So I'm taking a huge risk here. See, that oil is pretty dirty. And this just makes the lawnmower run longer. This is a pretty old lawnmower. It was given to me by a friend. So I'm going to dump the rest of this out. So I did get a little insecure and decided to top off the oil and recheck the oil after putting a little bit in there of the new oil. I have another bottle, and it is now in the okay range, and I'm not going to show that because it was real quick. But I should have actually put the blade back on before putting oil in here, but fortunately I still have the plastic barrier on the gas, so it shouldn't dump out when I tip it over here, but I'm going to tip it over. One-handed for the entertainment of my viewers. And see, the gas is not leaking. That's a good thing. So here's the blade. It appears to be aftermarket, and the nut and the washer, and this particular nut here, it's very important not to lose this because these do not come with replacement blades. You can get the blades at a hardware store. They're not sharpened. You still have to get them sharpened. So it did leak a little tiny bit of gas, so I'm going to just wipe this up. I have it now tipped on the other side because it does not leak that way. So I'm going to get started here. Plus the lighting is much better this way. So I have the washer. The blade needs to sit with the slope actually needs to be up like this, and the flat part here. The washer goes on this side. This nut, not sure if it's visible. It is. The nut goes here, and then you bolt it in. So this is why I cannot do it one-handed. It's also very good to have the spark plug disconnected when doing this so that you don't accidentally start it. First, I'm going to fit this nut in here, hopefully. That's right. Remember, the flat part of the blade is down, and I have the washer that I'm going to put on this side. Oops. The washer's going to go over here, and the nut, this is the tricky part because it's all one piece. And see how the little nut came loose, or tried to, and I start by hand tightening it. This particular nut fits a 9/16. Unknown whether it fits yours. And this piece, the plate from the lawnmower, has to be aligned with the blade. Also very important because it will flop around and sound like crap. I've done this before and caused it to not make a good sound, and I don't want that happening again. Actually, it looks like I have the washer on the wrong side. Boy, this is turning out to be goofy. But so now I'm gonna take this off. These videos are goofy anyways. So the mistake was the washer is on the wrong side. So the washer goes on this side and the nut goes under it. It was not going to let me put it on snugly the other way, so no worries. There are also two, I don't know what you call them, buttons, or it looks like there's welded buttons in here, and those need to go inside these two grooves right here. These two grooves right here. So I sit it on there, fit those. See, this is why it flopped around, part of why. See how they align in there? And then the washer, I've got the nut in place. See, I've messed this up before, so, and I'm remembering that my blades are properly not upside down. That's all going on great. I'm tightening it, and I'm not worried about accidentally starting it because my spark plug is disconnected, so it won't get spark. Give it a good tightening, and that's on. So the next thing I'm going to do is reattach this filter and the cap to the lawnmower. So we already know, based on this, it fits up like this. Here's the hole to the filter, and this is going to go in here. I align it with the hole on this part. Yep, that's doing just fine, and I bought that on Amazon for like $4, and it wasn't even carried at Lowe's anymore. So forget you guys at Lowe's for already making this lawnmower obsolete and not carrying the part. And I also don't like Home Depot. So anyway, next is the spark plug. So like I said, I've already taken the spark plug out. I have a special spark plug wrench here. It comes with this. I bought this at the I believe Lowe's. They do sell these, and it fits my particular spark plug. I have an auto light, let's see, Extreme Start Grid Iridium, that I bought from Amazon. It replaced an E130, I believe, and it should fit, but we'll make sure. And if it starts and it runs, I'm happy. So I also took my business away from Lowe's because they had the spark plug and did not have the filter. So I got both of these on Amazon, and this one is much cheaper than the E130, so I'm happy. So I'm taking it out of the package. And this is the hole for it. I will hand tighten first and drop it. And it fits. Yay, that was so much cheaper than that E130. And then I have the wrench. It's this part, and this attaches on here. I've hand tightened it enough to get it started, and then this, just a little snug, not too snug, and that's on. And here's the spark plug wire, and that just pops right on here. Fits, everything fits. I'm stoked that this cheap spark plug fits, because I replace these every year anyway, and I'm not counting on them lasting for 5-10 years. This is an annual thing. So okay, I've got gas, I've got oil, I've got spark plug, I've got filter replaced, and I think it's ready to attempt to start. But first, I'm going to put some gas in this thing. It's not empty, but I just want to say I put super unleaded in this, and I know there's special 4-cycle engine fuel. It's very expensive, and I found the super unleaded works just as well. So I'm going to first loosen this, get the piece of plastic off. That has to be on there in order to tip it without it leaking. I have a regular gas can. And this particular hole is big enough to go ahead and dump it straight in. I can see the top of the fluid, the gas, so it's actually got some in there. So you always want to make sure there's plenty of gas and oil before starting it. And how do you like my hair? You're welcome. Okay, so first I need to prime this, and I have fuel in it, so I'm going to prime it 5 times. Okay, 6. Okay, so this is the throttle. I have the throttle down. This is the auto. That is for traction, turning the wheels on, and I'm going to pull start this. So yeah, the first couple of turns sputtered, so I'm going to start it again, and it won't put smoke out. So now I'm basically good to go. The lawnmower runs well. I'm going to take that old oil at some point down to the dump. There is a place for chemicals. We do try to look out for the environment around here. Not for political purposes, but this stuff is nasty. And I'll probably wipe that out, but I don't really need to, so I won't. And I'll put all this stuff away. The cleanup is kind of a nuisance, and I should be good to go. One other thing I forgot to mention is with super unleaded, if you store it for a long period of time, you do need to put some fuel stabilizer, and this is just whatever they had at Lowe's, and so I got that. If you buy the special type of 4-cycle fuel at one of these hardware stores, it already has the stabilizer in it, but check the label. Anyway, I'm not going to put this in the current tank because it's only a few months old, but as you can see, it runs fine. It's not going to cause any damage, and I don't care. But if I were to store a large amount of fuel, which I may in the future, I'll put some of this in there. And the amount that you put in is on the instructions. All right, well, I don't think I swore any when I was doing this. That's good, but thank you for watching.